It's so liberating streaming on our own platform because we can do anything we want, provided perhaps violate federal law. I think that would be an issue. But showing some balls, I mean, whatever.
Like Logan Paul.
You want me to show my balls?
In his head.
In his head, he's like, I can do it.
Hey, we can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
Show us
Show us your balls, John.
No.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me
Do you see how many views he got on his first video back?
see if I. Oh, hold on. I'll wait on it.
No,
No,
uh,
Logan Paul.
Yeah,
No,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
like 10 million or something.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
It's funny you guys bring that up, because another story broke this week about someone else temporarily leaving to come back to the adulation and fame of basically the entire planet. But
Kevin Spacey.
yes, Kevin Spacey's back, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck it, I'll just turn this off. We're already getting into the
If
spice.
Kevin Spacey puts a movie out, everyone's gonna go see it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true.
Think about
Especially if it's about anything like remotely sexual.
Do you think anyone will pay him to be in a movie now? Or does he have to do it on his own?
Yeah, I guess if you went indie,
I mean, he could do whatever he wants.
I don't know.
He's got billions of dollars.
I'm just saying,
right?
like Louis C.K. goes on tour, no one's gonna go. I don't think so. Yeah. Of course you're gonna go see Louis.
I will not support him with my hard-earned dollars. No, thank you.
That's what happens when you take something away. You want it.
Welcome to a lawless bowl of dude soup. Anything goes. John's balls, Kevin Spacey's.
Yep.
No, it's okay, man. It's
So I
fine.
was just gonna say I had my balls out right before we switched the camera on. So
Sorry, everybody. You missed the balls.
Oh.
You might have heard them, though, so remember that. I'm your host of this podcast, Lawrence Sontag, and because I'm jet-lagged, I'm using that as an excuse to drink not one, but 2 beers during the podcast. This is my sipping beer, and this is my chugging beer. We'll see which one finishes up first.
I was on the same flight. I'm okay.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm using it as an excuse. I actually slept pretty well last night.
I slept like a baby.
Yeah.
Drugged up baby. Yeah.
Joined by drugged baby Adam Kovic.
Hey, what's up?
And then the sadly sober child. Slober? That can be a word, whatever. Sober child, Omar de Armas.
Not sober, but yeah.
Yeah, right on. Starting the workday, well, finishing the workday. Cruising through the middle of the workday
Yeah,
proper.
cruising through that beer, lunch beers.
Yeah.
It's like 1:30. Oh, no, it's 2 o'clock. Okay.
Yep.
But still. 5 o'clock.
It's
Yeah.
12
Closing
o'clock
time.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And then verified possessor of 2 balls, John Smith. Hey, John.
hello.
We got a lot of things to talk about. So let's not talk about any of them and instead sit here in some awkward silence.
What?
I'm going to try to open this beer on the edge of this table. It
This,
has all the mics on it, so...
Any
And all the-
sponsors?
Be
Do you have any
very
sponsors
loud.
you need to mention? Any sponsors? I can get. You don't want to do that.
I'm going to put a big old notch on the table, but it didn't open the beer.
Here, I can get that open for you.
Yeah. You going to break it on something?
I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
I used to open beers with my teeth.
That
I
seems
learned
dangerous.
it in Uganda.
Oh!
I think if you just do this.
He's working on it back there.
We have sponsors?
Yeah, we do.
Because you need one.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it's a little fuzzy. We got 3 sponsors on today's podcast. Sherry's Berries, Blue Apron, and Mac Weldon. Get 20% off any purchase over $29 from Sherry's Berries by going to berries.com and using our code DUDESOUP at checkout. You can get $30 off your first Blue Apron order by going to blueapron.com/soup and get 20% off your Mac Weldon order by using our promo code DUDE at macweldon.com. You'll have a little more information about all those offers later. And first, we got some, thank you. It's the Wild West, ladies and gentlemen. No one cares about impropriety. No one cares about seeing corpses in a forest. And no one cares about, I don't know, good sequels? It's probably a good sequel.
Yeah,
I don't know where my sequel's going with that.
Corpse in a forest, they're calling it. Is
Yeah, we've all been
dead
waiting.
on arrival.
that what it's called?
No.
Oh.
Corpse Harder. Some details potentially leaked about Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, like, it's one of those leaks where it's like you read most of them and you're just like, yeah, that sounds exactly like what Red Dead 2 would be. So there's not a whole lot of spice to it, and I realize I should undercut the severity of these rumors before I get to them.
Forgive my ignorance. Is this a new video trailer?
No.
That was the old one.
This is like the official trailer number 2 came out September 28th, 2017.
Okay. I'm like, this looks new and neat.
It's newish. So this, I guess to lead off, Rockstar did announce an official release date, October 26th. So that's for real this time. There's no way it's ever going to get delayed again. I'm going to take a sip of my...
If it does.
my
How many times did GTA get delayed?
2 times?
Twice?
Yeah.
That feels about right. So we haven't had any gameplay details yet, aside from what you can glean from the trailer, aka there will be horses and guns, crocodiles,
Fucking alligators, dude. Holy shit.
bows and arrows, bears. And
Come
that looks like
Beards?
Bonnie, except didn't she die?
I'm guessing the game is going to be a bit of a flashback, fast forward, and I think it's going to take in. My guess is it's going to be 2 different time periods.
Oh my.
That's my theory.
Really?
Red Dead 2 two time periods.
I don't know.
It's all adding together, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, because
That's not the same protagonist.
No, that is.
but I've heard rumors John Marston's in it.
It's one of the
Didn't that
dudes
dude
from
die
the
at the
gang.
end?
Spoilers.
Yeah, he plays his kid. Also spoilers.
I guess.
Whatever. You've had like 5 years. Spoilers don't count anymore.
He was such a revered character, and then I think
He wasn't a character though.
John Marston.
Not really.
He was real? He's a real person?
No, I mean like he's a video game protagonist in the right way, which means he was pretty beige. Like you could put whatever tone on whatever he did that you wanted to, and his dialogue was always very non-committal.
All right, well,
Like somebody could get gunned down in front of me and be like, I don't feel like that was the right thing to do, ma'am. But then you go and shoot somebody in the face or whatever.
that's your opinion.
Yeah? You really like John
That's
Marston?
okay.
What's the most defining thing you remember about John Marston's character?
He was a survivor. I liked that he was. It was sort of a what's the fish out of water situation. It was he was a man of a different time. He was trying to redeem himself, trying to undo the things that he did, just raise family. But they brought him right back in. I mean, it's a story we've seen before, but I thought it was really well done in the Wild West theme. And if you know any story, anytime, there's never going to be a happy ending for something like that. And it was like I kind of always got the vibe that he knew how it was going to go down, but ultimately he wanted to protect his family. That's what I got from it. It's also been 7 years since I played that game. It's been a long time. I should probably go back, play it one more time before.
I've never played
You
it.
think you'll have time? It's a long game.
I mean, got till October.
Like,
That's true.
If I start now,
My
Worth
most
it.
memorable experience was when he prevented the zombie apocalypse.
oh yeah,
So,
Undead Nightmare.
yeah.
I did play that.
Ooh, all cutscenes.
Where can you play that
Talk
game
about
right
spoilers.
360.
Besides,
the
but I mean,
arcade.
they didn't do an HD remake of it.
No.
It's backwards compatible with Xbox One, I believe.
Oh, it
So-
is?
But you have to have the disc.
You might be able to download it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, didn't they announce that if you buy Redemption 2 on Xbox, you get one for free? Am I wrong about that?
I have no idea. I
Oh,
actually
boy.
do not remember any of this stuff.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry if I'm
sorry,
misinforming.
the thing with the two time periods, my thought was the same way they did GTA 5. I feel like every time you play a Rockstar game, they're going to put something into the next one that you've seen before. So switching between the three characters, I know it's been a while since any of us have played GTA single player. But if you remember, you can switch between any of the three characters. So obviously they would want to do something like that. My thought was, this is insanity, but there might be like a Zelda kind of like Link to the Past where you can just go between two timelines.
So you
I'd
like
say
do
that-
something in a previous timeline, and then you switch to the future, and then those
Possibly,
ramifications are
maybe,
there?
or they'll somehow affect each other. I assumed you were going to get a story of John Marston when he's younger, and then you're going to be playing as someone from post Red Dead 1.
Okay.
That was my theory.
Not
I
bad.
could be way off, but that's because we have nothing other to do than to just think about the game because
Yeah.
we got nothing.
Well,
That'd
we got
be-
something now. Sorry.
Sorry. I was going to say that'd be great if like you started in the past timeline and killed everyone, and then you went to the future and there was just no game.
Yeah, they're just all dead. You're in a wasteland. There's no one
Yeah.
to shoot.
Or they just all have bullet wounds.
Yeah.
Generations later, and
Yeah,
still have the bullet hole.
It probably won't be. I think that's probably a little too insane to think that you could actually like totally affect the past, but it might be a storytelling device where, oh, you're the mission says you got to do these things, and then it fast forwards later to like where like, oh, there's a cave now because you blew it up with dynamite, in the past, something like that. So that,
But you're
I don't
thinking
know.
not too far apart the timelines.
No, probably like a 30-year gap, maybe a 20-year gap, something like that. Nothing too crazy. If you're gonna play as like a young John Marston when
Well,
he was still in the gang, Dutch's gang.
some of the latest rumors do point to some amount of story mutability, not necessarily in a time traveling aspect. But
Yeah.
let's get into the notes. So this is from Trusted Reviews, who say that they were sent some developer notes in late 2017, but had nothing to corroborate it with. They had no other information to link it to. So they kept quiet on it, didn't really publish it, because who would start a rumor without full journalistic... What's going on? Oh, man, that recording light doesn't do anything these days. So now that Rockstar's put out some trailers and put out some images, they've said that these promotional materials actually link up to the notes that they were passed. So now that they see that there is a real-world connection, they feel vindicated in publishing this material.
Well, it's good that they waited at least.
Yeah.
Then.
Provided that is what happened. It's the internet. Anyone can say anything.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for them to make a whole backstory about them aside from falsely implying some credence on this story. Who cares? Whatever. The point is, all the rumors, as far as I'm concerned, are actually pretty believable. The foremost being that Red Dead 2 will have a Battle Royale mode. That's not entirely shocking, given that GTA Online already has one too.
Oh, they put one in GTA already, too?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of a half-baked one.
It kind of is.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that this morning, Lawrence, when I was like, man, why weren't they putting more effort in? Oh, by putting into Red Dead.
And to that point, that means that Red Dead will also have a Red Dead Online. Kind of like GTA Online, which makes total sense.
Red Dead had Online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given that GTA Online has earned a shitload of cash, $1 billion total since its launch, according to analyst firm SuperData, which we've cited before, and they usually do pretty good and accurate work. So here's a quote from Tweaktown referencing the SuperData.
Twinktown.
Yeah, Tweaktown, the place we all want to go. Quote, Grand Theft Auto 5's massively popular persistent online open world component GTA Online has generated an estimated $1.092 billion in total revenues. Analyst firm SuperData reports GTA 5 is the highest earning digital console game of all time, thanks to its hugely profitable add-on content, the firm said in a recent market report. With total revenues of $1.4 billion since its release in 2013, 78% of which was earned by add-on content through GTA Online. So this is extra interesting. This is, I think, something circumstantial that also supports the idea that Red Dead 2 will have an online, and also that these rumors might be accurate. This is from Take-Two Interactive Chief Financial Officer Lane Goldstein, said this during an earnings call, the most recent one. Quote, we expect GTA Online to moderate during this fiscal year. It did grow significantly in 2017 and we continue to support it, but since it's unlike anything else we've ever had, we have very little, I think that means very little visibility on how long it'll continue this trend of growth. We've included it as moderating this year's guidance. There's some typos in that transcription, but
Actually, that guy, he had a stroke in the middle of that.
Red Dead.
Lane.
Every
Money. So if I read between the lines there, they say GTA Online's earned a shitload of cash. All the trends are going upward, and they're saying it might taper off in 2018. And they're saying, because we don't really know. Anything can happen. Except what they do know, theoretically, is that Red 2 is going to launch with Red Dead Online. Meaning that I think they know that some of their current active users of GTA Online are going to move over to Red Dead. Meaning GTA Online is going to it's not going to grow as fast or plateau, but Red Dead is going to shoot up.
But what are they going to do? I would think they would have a map maker and stuff like that. And for us, like, the races offer us, like, unlimited content. What can they do in a Wild West world that would keep you coming back?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Adam.
Yeah, okay.
These things and more are hinted at in the leaks, such as you want to call them. So, in regards to open world activities, the biggest thing that stood out to me is they say you can buy a tent. Like, it's kind of like the apartments in GTA, except the leaks say it'll be in the open world and that you'll be able to upgrade it and stuff, which on one part makes sense, but on the other part scares me. So I've seen what happens when scarcity is injected into an online game. Typically MMOs, if they have limited housing, it becomes a clusterfuck real fast. People start buying them up and then scalping them and reselling them.
Of course.
It gets priced out of everyone's price range pretty quickly. You have like Saudi Arabian oil princes like paying $30,000 for like one trinket. So if they're parceling up the open world and selling land, digital land to people, that's going to get really weird and create a pretty toxic environment.
Which game does that now? Final Fantasy?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14. They have like numbered housing districts, and each district has a specific plot, and there's only so many. The upside is you can actually go and see someone else's house. In GTA Online, they're instanced, so you have to like be invited into someone's apartment, and then it just calls up your apartment from a database and loads you into that area. But it's not in the world. It's vaguely worded, but it sounds like, according to these leaks, Red Dead 2 tents will be in the world. And like, Ultima Online had this back in the day where you could just plop a house down anywhere, and on the servers that were really old, there'd be houses everywhere. So there'd be this vast expanse of nothing but houses and houses and houses, which oddly mirrors the real world in a creepy way.
In Ultima Online, the house deed looked the same as a blank scroll. So you could actually sell someone a blank scroll and then run and make a bunch of money. I got caught doing that.
But there was no law.
No, they put me in a jail cell.
What?
I got teleported to this little 10 by 10 room. They're like, you're going to be here for the next day. It's like, shit.
Man, frontier law is absolute.
that sounds interesting, but if we've learned anything from GTA, yeah, I guess it is Wild West, so you should be able to put a tent everywhere, but they like you were explaining the instance, like they still want you to be somewhat immersed. It would be weird if you're like, wow, I bought my apartment and there's 35 dudes in there. And they're all like doing the jerk off motion. Yeah, it's
That's what it is in GTA.
Like, yeah, you're like, wow, it's mine.
Yeah, 12 cowboys, all mine.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know. And
just looks like a displacement camp or something, just like tents, just side by side for miles.
I feel like a cooler idea would be to like, rather than a tent, but you know, we're all speculating at this point, but like, wouldn't it be kind of cool to like build a town, especially if you're, so
kind of like Fallout, but with people.
Kind of, but like GTA Online is already kind of like PUBG. You're dropped into a big open world. The only thing is you can respawn.
Yeah.
So like, okay,
there's psychopaths all around you.
My big problem with GTA that we've been dealing with is that you're just constantly killed by people out in the open world. Then you go in passive mode, and then it kind of takes away the fun of it. Mm-hmm. If you could sort of create the law of the land, like build a town, and there's one shithead, like maybe the game is grounded enough that like some dude's not. I mean, are they gonna have biplanes? There's probably biplanes.
Press F
right?
to lynch.
Yeah.
Planes
or
in this
steam powered helicopters.
Well, this was
Something
like
like that.
1910.
I mean, when was the plane invented?
1916.
So, it's so weird. I was trying to think about this because the Wright brothers flew a plane long before there were like commuter planes. So I don't know what that gap was.
Sure, still out.
Yeah.
When could an average person reasonably buy a ticket and
all
fly on an
soundstage.
airplane?
I don't know, 40s, 50s maybe. I just thought it was weird that
JetBlue
it
was in the 70s. It was the Airbus.
That's when airplanes took off, when JetBlue was a thing. I like the idea, like you think of these two crazy brothers out on the farmland going like shit, and then someone's like, how about we take that over the ocean? It's just like fucking crazy.
It'll probably work.
And Amelia Earhart's like, I got this. You're like, no, you don't.
What if we made the seats very uncomfortable and impossibly small? That'd be great.
Oh, we were talking about this yesterday. I don't want to make it a plane podcast, but you know how everyone's selling mattresses because they're so cheap because it's just that memory foam. Mm-hmm. One day I can't wait for planes just to be a big blob. You just go
Shoved into it.
just sink into it. I'm like, how cool would that be? Yeah. It's just like, where's my seat? You decide.
Yeah, everywhere.
That's the Fifth Element vision of plane travel is the best.
Oh,
where you're
laying in bed?
Yeah, well, sort of. You're on like rollers,
Yeah.
and then it's just enough room for your body, and then they drug you and knock you out. So
Can I tell you I don't want to do a
do
whole
that to
plane
themselves.
story.
No, it's okay. Do it, man.
Do you see where I was sitting?
Yeah.
Yesterday on the plane?
You were next to the toilet, right?
Well, yeah, toilet's fine. I don't care about that. I got an exit row, right? Fucking won the lottery because they had us pick seats before we flew out, and I'm like,
You didn't have to pay extra?
I didn't. It was like $0. Like,
Nice.
I got the exit row, and it was like had the wall, and we're on a 16-hour flight, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, we get to lay down. It was me, empty chair, skinny woman. I'm like, I'm so happy. I have nothing but room.
Were you doing this the whole flight?
Yeah.
In my mind, yes, because about 10 minutes before takeoff, I see the largest Brazilian man I've ever seen
Nice.
get escorted next to me. The woman goes, this one should be available. And I'm like, no. And just whoosh, next to me right in the middle. And I immediately like pushed me to the side.
Oh, man.
And it was those ones where like you got to pull the tray out of the side. His roll was so big.
Oh, poor guy.
It was flopping over, so I couldn't get my tray out. And I had to like move his fat over and pick it up. And he sort of like looked at me and I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah. I got a fish in there, buddy.
And he kept doing that. He kept sleeping when he'd fall over a little bit and he kept pushing me towards the window. And I was like,
Adam, you were talking about getting shoved into a gelatinous cube. You were essentially just on the verge of it.
that's where I got the thought.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry,
it was
large
fine.
man.
And then
You might have some medical condition. I don't know.
I can never complain about being on a flying metal thing, especially as futuristic as the ones that are now. Like I was looking at the side, I'm like looking at the wing, and it's like barely moving. I'm like, we're going fucking 600 miles per hour. This is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
And then I have noise canceling headphones where it's like he's like turn on nothing, and I'm like, I can never be mad at this future. When the touchscreen doesn't fucking work on the thing when you want to watch
out, right?
Pacific Rim, and then I kept trying to get to my remote, but the guys was in my way because I couldn't put the tray back.
Oh, no.
I was just like, what a gypsy curse! Like all the legroom that you want,
all
but
that-
you can't move.
Yeah, all that hubris you had in the beginning.
I was just happy. I was like, oh my god, I can put my legs out. I'm gonna sleep like a fucking baby. Nah.
We need a word for that. Like of hating the situation you're in, but not really being mad at anyone about it.
Yeah.
Because I was a row separate from a very chatty child, and not like.
Saw your tweet, yeah.
Despite my tweet, did not scream constantly. I thought it made for a better tweet. It's more like every 5 to 10 minutes would just make one burst of noise. And the parents did an amazing job of placating and comforting their child. No arguments there, but still, like, at the exact second that I'm about to drift off, I hear a,
Yeah.
oh, shit. So I don't fault to anyone, but fuck, it sucks. So I don't know, like, where's the word for that? There's got to be something.
I always want, because whenever you're in a plane, right, your ears pop or whatever, you,
Yeah.
you do the thing, and like we as adults have created a cure. I always feel bad for animals and babies where they're probably just like, what the fuck is everything? There's pressure in my head and I can't describe the pain. My body is still growing. Ow. And I'm like, always like,
You poor
man,
thing.
just put it in the carry-on. Like, just put it up top. Like,
Getting drunk. Airport bar.
Maybe
Rub
we
it
should
on their
make
gums
smarter
until their eyes
babies.
dilate.
I wish. Babies are so fucking stupid.
What a crazy trip to take a baby on, though. 14
Maybe
hours
you
on the
got it.
airplane.
Maybe you're visiting family. Maybe you're moving. There's all a number of reasons. That
Yeah.
Maybe they stole that baby.
might be a stolen baby. Speaking of theft. Sorry, I just trying to
No, that's fine. That's fine.
We
That
got
was-
rounded back to-
I just wanted to talk about that. That's it for my plane stories for the next 10 years. So
Okay.
I just wanted to get that out there.
Until you have to go back to Australia next year.
I don't know. I mean, we do these international trips all the time, and we rarely are like, man, you're not going to believe what happened at the duty free section. It's like I don't think plane talk is very interesting. So that's I just wanted to throw it out there because it was funny.
Cam Sturese, this is in the newfangled Rooster Teeth live chat that some of you have the luxury of enjoying.
That's VOD.
Yeah, Cam Sturese says if there's a word for it, German will have it. That language has a word for everything. Well, I look forward to it because if it's German also, it'll sound a little mad, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for, phonetically speaking. But yes, there's more Red Dead rumors. We can dip back into those. So there's a couple of multiplayer modes they outline. The Battle Royale mode, which doesn't have a whole lot of details about it, but I think you can probably interpret most of it if you played a Battle Royale game. There's Revive and Survive. This is a competitive mode in which two teams try and kill each other off. And if somebody goes down, you have a limited amount of time to revive them. It kind of reminds me of like maybe a slightly slower paced Kill Confirmed. Or if
kinda
somebody
like
goes
Gears.
down. Or Gears, yeah. Yeah.
Or Last of Us.
Oh, yeah, Last of Us multiplayer. Yeah,
Any
yeah.
third-person shooter with a
Yeah.
cover system.
Well, yeah, the down mechanic is yeah. For me, it's like somebody goes down, you can use them as bait, and then there's this cool
Yeah.
like risk-reward aspect of having to revive a teammate.
It's always great in Gears. It's like I'm down, and you go, get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
tap my
good.
shoulder. Thanks, bro.
My friend did. Fucking grow neck. Anyway. Sorry.
They got some necks in 4. No,
Oh, yeah, they can
brief
finally
aside,
render necks.
No one cares about Gears 4, but man, if you get a 1X and a 4K TV, Gears 4 is fucking phenomenal.
So the low price of $5,000.
That's all you got to do. On my way back from flying from another country, while being mildly annoyed by a baby who had no idea what they were doing, all I could do was think about my $5,000 entertainment setup.
I bought a 4K TV over the weekend. I agree with you.
You
man.
watched that Planet Earth yet?
Would you get the LG?
I got the OLED LG.
Is that because Mastrop's been throwing those at you?
They've been seeding that in my head for a while. But
Okay.
I went to Best Buy and got it because they were all about the same price.
Yeah, they've finally come down. It's an OLED, right?
Yeah.
Those things are. Did you see Gavin's video that he did on Pixels?
Oh yeah, that was
The
super
slow mo
cool.
pixeling. Did you watch that yet?
Oh, like pixels flickering and then fading away,
yeah. Like he
ghosting
did
shit?
he did the slow mo guys on.
I gotta watch that.
How
on-
TVs work.
Yeah,
On
he did,
CRTs
he did on CRTs and he did one on the OLED, and it was like it's just fascinating.
Photovoltaic cells.
Man, I like
That
when
guy's
smart
so
people.
smart.
He's so smart, man. The big TV.
This is now
Very,
the-
very, this TV's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Damn, I have no segue. Well, speaking of, there's an also mode called Money Grab,
Yeah.
where there's a sack of money in the center of a map. You have to run, grab cash, and then run back to your base.
I vaguely remember that being a mode.
Yeah.
In the original, yeah.
It's like one flag, capture the flag.
Sure,
It's-
yeah.
It's something like
How
that.
can
I
we
feel
take
like-
things that exist and
Steal the
relate them
bacon.
into the West? Yeah.
I feel like we did that in elementary school with the tri-board eraser.
Steal the bacon.
Yeah.
Because it looks
Do you
like
guys not
bacon.
remember that?
I don't
know
remember
what
what
you
it was
guys are
called, but
talking
you put it in
It
everyone
was
lines
the
up.
chalkboard eraser.
Yeah, and you
Uh-huh.
put it in the middle of the field, and everyone has to run for it, and then you get tackled by people.
I don't know what kind of slave prison you grew up in. We threw a dodgeball at each other once and got yelled at.
Yeah.
Really?
The
We
episode
also had
there.
Pogland.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I remember Pogs. I grew up around the time Pogs, and I remember they were made like illegal. And then
My
they're-
school outlawed Pogs
Yeah.
too.
Gambling.
Was it because, it was like,
Yeah. But then, for the briefest of moments, and I remember this. I have very few memories I can remember from my childhood, but I do remember the principal going like,
want this to be
"Well,
real.
we talked about it,
not.
and during lunch hours, it's Pog City, kids. And we're like, yeah, Pog City lasted for about one lunch period. And then they're like, Pog City's over. And I think some kids got into a fight over Pogs.
Well, because it was like marbles where the Pogs you competed with, you would lose.
Yes.
And you'd have to give them to your victor, and no one ever wanted to do that.
There was one kid I remember in particular, all he had was a slammer. And like a drug addict, he was like, just give me one Pog. Like, if I just start with one, I'll have 30 by the end of the day. And I'm like, well, I guess I can give you this shitty one, but, you know, I expect it back. He lost it.
Wait, Pogs had a mascot?
Wait, is that...
Yeah, that crazy guy.
Poggy.
He's a testicle.
He's a caveman.
It was it started in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing?
Yes.
Or
There was a bit on
ideas for
Pogs,
them.
and so I basically fell down a Pog rabbit hole.
What was it about 90s visual design and just hitting the randomize button on whatever font you were using?
Oh, I mean, they drew that by hand. So I don't know. Or they had stencils that they bought.
You know what? I think it was that there was just a proliferation of computers that could do titling at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're like,
so
we got
that-
all these fonts, let's use every single one.
Yeah.
Or when they were trying to select the font, they had it selected and they were pressing the downer and they're like,
no,
hey,
no,
this
no,
actually
good.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you get a chance, you should look at like old EGM articles, Electronic Gaming Monthly. And
About Pogs?
Not Pogs, but you can see stylistic choices. So like, I think it was when they did the outline effect in Photoshop.
Oh,
they did
fine
it
edges
on
and stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is there a wrestler on the cover? Outline it. Is there a ghost? Outline. And I remember they did a whole not expose, but like they did a looking back at all their covers and they're like, what the fuck was wrong with us? Like, why did everything have a golden glow outlines? Like,
Outer
because
glow,
it
yeah.
existed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was outer. It's funny. You can see when Photoshop tools were becoming available.
Yeah. I remember when word art became a thing in Microsoft Word, and I was like, my essays are going to look so dope.
And then
D
they
minus.
did. Too much word art.
Yeah.
Damn it.
How do we get on Pogs? What are we
I don't
talking
remember.
about?
I used to make wallpapers
Oh,
when I
you,
first
man.
got Photoshop. I would render some clouds and then I just throw filters on it, and then the coup de grace was always find edges. I'm like, shit, there we go.
Yeah.
That's some cyber shit.
Get some solar flare up in there or whatever
Oh
it's
yeah,
called.
lens flares. Good shit. Anyway, more Red Dead rumors. So, Adam, in regards to your like, how are they going to populate the world to give people stuff to do?
Yeah.
The notes reference daily tasks, daily objectives, just like in GTA Online.
Of course.
A couple specific that they reference are traveling a certain distance or murder an enemy with a bow from 100 meters away. So these are things you get, I'm going to assume, small cash rewards of. Let's see here. You can buy tents. I'm worried about scarcity there, but whatever. They say there will be a companion mobile app that will have social elements and a poker mini game.
What was the last game that had a true second screen thing?
Battlefield 4?
Because that shit came and went really fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say true. Like I got Fallout had the item manager.
Well, like
Yeah,
you
that
would
was
keep your
great.
iPad open with the map or whatever.
Or the Vault Boy that you strap to your arm.
The Vault Boy. There you go.
Yeah.
That was like that one
Nintendo's got
E3,
that
and then
app
after
for
that,
Splatoon 2.
nothing.
Wait, what
Yeah.
did Microsoft call it? One screen? What?
Yeah.
Sir,
I know
no,
it's-
it was
Glass.
Glass.
Microsoft Glass.
There we go.
Yeah. What I didn't like about that was they're saying like, how often do we watch TV and always have our phone out? We're gonna take advantage of that. I was like,
Yeah.
can we? How about you invent a device that just does like a small EMP that only knocks out phones for like an hour at a time?
Well, it's also you're looking at your phone because you're bored by what's on the screen. It's not like you're looking at your phone wanting something else that's on your screen. You're looking at it because you're in between fight scenes and you gotta do something to keep yourself occupied.
I wonder how many of those people at concerts filming it and they're like, they go
Yeah.
home and go,
I can't wait to
cool.
watch this
Yeah.
later.
No, they don't even
Everything.
go home and go cool. They never look at it again.
Yeah.
Never ever again.
And what a shitty way to watch an entire concert.
they're
But I
not. They're
wonder-
watching
Well,
their
I
phone.
think
like a cyber
now stories and Snapchat has taken that over. So instead of filming the whole thing, they'll just like with Instagram stories, you can hold the button down, and once it fills up, it'll start a new one. And so like they'll just stand there and record like 4 minutes, and like they probably think their friends are going to watch that and go, "This is the best way to experience
it's
a
just
concert."
like being there.
I'm only grateful for it because that's how we got the I forget the guy's name, the guy who filmed JFK getting shot in the head. Because he was like, I'm going to remember this.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, shit, his head got blown off. I'm so glad I was filming. So, like, the only reason why I think that's cool is that we're constantly recording history. But
Yeah.
that's only it's
Watch Dogs, baby.
it's pretty much
Going to
only so we
somebody's
can
phone and
have
hack an ATM.
disaster montages on live.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that is true.
Fail army.
I mean, it was super morbid, but when the Vegas shooting happened, all the footage from it was people who were filming the concert
Yeah.
instead of watching it with their eyes.
Right.
So.
It's an interesting way of keeping a recording of history, but like it's got to be something more to it than that.
Vantage Point predicted all of this. Was Colin Farrell in that?
What? Oh, you mean
Not
phone
Cellular.
booth?
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that.
Oh,
Who's in Cellular?
Cellular.
Keanu Reeves.
That reminds me. Having watched National Treasure last night because I was delirious from lack of sleep.
As you do.
I want Netflix. Are you listening? Netflix, please tag movies flip phone. # flip phone. Because I want to watch every movie that has a flip phone in it. That is such a magic window of like culture. Pre-iPhone, but after cell phone.
What would you call the slide-out phone from The Matrix Reloaded? Like, this will take
awesome.
off.
That's what I call it.
I feel like when I saw that in theaters, the entire theater gasped collectively when it flipped up. They're like, I want.
It's like a switchblade.
I
It's
think I
fucking
had
rad.
one of those.
Well, because
It was
the
a
first
little Motorola phone, right?
well, the first movie had it where it's just a little slide-out thing, and everyone's like,
man.
whoa,
But it was like
cool.
spring-loaded, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like an Australian thing, but then there was the phone from The Matrix Reloaded that they were trying to market to be.
Ugh.
Ugh,
That's the real one. It looks terrible.
It looks like deodorant.
It does, kind of. Looks
the-
like a shitty lunchbox.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't think it did. It was it spring-loaded? Yeah, that was the reloaded phone. Yeah, it did like.
I think
snap
that
up
one.
and-
The earpiece would swing up. Oof.
And then he pulled the antenna out.
So that's the original one, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause it
that was
slid.
like an Australian phone because they showed the whole thing in Sydney or whatever.
The first Nokia phone with a monochrome graphic LCD.
It's so funny too. You look at that, you're like, "What's that from? 1972?" And they're like, 2004.
Not even 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed with
Whoa.
a lot of movies. I'll think they take place later than they do, or maybe it was that like movie theaters didn't adopt smartphones immediately and they just stuck with using flip phones or something. I don't know.
Theaters
but like,
or movies?
Sorry, movie makers.
Also, Chris Evans was in Cellular. Thank you, Yoda the Hutt.
Okay. And also, please call them dreamers.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Dreamweavers, life makers. All right, so other Red Dead. So side activities. There are horsemanship challenges, fishing. You can mix baits and tackles, so it's its own mini game. Plant and herb gathering for crafting of some sort. You can play multiplayer and single player in first person. We'll have custom animations to match. Deadeye is making a return, the like slowdown mechanic, except you can also now use it to track bounties. So that could potentially be player characters, maybe NPCs, and detect local fish and wildlife. That's a video game. And then Adam, to something that you were theorizing about. They also mentioned that campaign missions will have different dialogue or different outcomes based on moral actions you take in those missions.
That
So
kinda makes
not
sense.
quite the like
Yeah,
separation of decades or anything, but
Sure. Yeah, who knows?
it can only be so divergent, really, because if you have to write a story,
Yeah.
you have to kind of account for all those branch offs. But yeah, so those are the high notes of all the rumors. You can look at the post yourself. There's going to be a link in the description because we like to credit all the hardworking journalists out there. So yeah, but it's the math of it adds up perfectly.
Yeah, does any of that strike you as like, whoa?
The only thing is potentially limited housing. To me, that's not going to work.
I'm just thinking about like limited events though. Like, I mean, honestly,
What, like Iron Banner in Destiny or something?
Well, no. Like, I'm just thinking if they're gonna do the player creator stuff, you're putting it into a game that's like we can do horse racing.
Well, Red Dead
Is
had
that really gonna get people to come back?
I mean, they can do fucking shootouts and stuff like that.
Sure, but
Parts.
as maybe it's just us, but whenever we play online, it's more of like it's just a clusterfuck. It's never like, unless they like completely change the net code and they get it to where it's like, oh, it's 1-to-1 and it's as tight as something as like Overwatch or I can't even think of another game, CS:GO or something like that, where it's like this truly is like as close to 1-to-1 as you're gonna get. Then yeah, sure, maybe, but the way GTA is, every time it's like I punch that guy and then I'm teleported on top of a building and I fall and I die.
Yeah.
Because it's like the game is trying to catch up with so many players. I mean, is that going to monetize? Is that going to keep people coming back? I don't know.
if what I've seen and I don't know, like I don't have extensive access to Rockstar's analytics, and that's the sort of thing that would tell you when we unveil this kind of content, this is what we get. So they have their map creator, which is essentially like a sausage factory of quote unquote endless content. But from my perception, what really drives player engagement is introducing things you can buy that cost a shitload of money, and then people go to whatever activity pays out the highest in the game, no matter what it is. Sometimes that's maps. There are a lot of farming maps. But lately, it's been different events. Grinding heists was a big thing for a long time. So if Red Dead follows the same thing, I don't know that player-created maps are as important as Rockstar just adding golden trinkets that people want to run on a treadmill to get. And in a weird way, the player base has demonstrated a remarkable resilience to running on a treadmill for a very long time to get a very small, shiny thing.
I mean, the game doesn't seem to have dipped in popularity. If anything,
It's getting
feels
better.
more popular than ever.
It's earning more money. So to that, I mean, Red Dead 1 had like open world activities. You could assault villas and hideouts and stuff. I could see them just like, you partner up with 4 people, it populates an open world base with vagrants or whatever, and then you just run in and shoot them all. And then
like
depending
a train
on how
heist
fast
or something.
Yeah, they could have train heists and stuff, just spawn a train and then you have to go get it. And then they could even have, like, if you register yourself as a lawman or something, kind of like how GTA Online, if you're doing a heist, it'll light you up for the server and tell other people to go after you. Let's say you're heisting a train, maybe it finds another group and says, hey, you've just been awarded a contract by the government, go stop them. So now you have dynamically generated events that pit player versus player to earn money toward in-game rewards, and you didn't really have to make any content for it. It's all systemic. And that's like, that is music to a game developer's ear. As long as the machine works, you essentially have unlimited money as long as people are playing your game, and people are going to play Red Dead
Well,
online.
yeah, I mean, and GTA proves that, right? Like, there's that infographic that was going around of when Rockstar discovered microtransactions or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just
about
like
the
it's like
piece of the
game,
releases.
and then nothing after
Yeah.
GTA 5.
So it's funny because I saw that too. That's as much of the money, but it's also the complication of the product they're releasing.
Yeah,
It's not
the games are
necessarily
only getting bigger.
Yeah, and it
I
takes
mean,
more people and it's more complicated. Bully didn't have online multiplayer. It didn't have an ongoing service. It didn't have any of that stuff. So yeah, they can make a game and release it and then make the next one.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like to compare Midnight Club Los Angeles to like GTA 5 is like, oh, come on.
Same thing happened to Blizzard. They put out World of Warcraft and didn't release another game for like 6 years. And yes, they were making money, but they also had to build up support locations all across the planet. They had to buy servers in multiple countries and scale up the institutions to do that. It's just a complicated game, and that's what games are now.
But Rockstar was already multiple studios, right? Like they had studios all over the world or whatever, doing different projects.
Yeah, there's something like 9 or 10 studios or something.
Yeah, so like
ridiculous.
you know, you have 2 or 3 studios working on GTA content or whatever, and then the other ones are doing what?
It seems like
Working
they're
on
all
Red Dead too, I guess.
Yeah, they're all just doing GTA and Red Dead now. And then I'm sure there's a magic third IP out there that they're developing something new, who knows what it is.
What happened to that Bully sequel that was rumored for a little while too?
Yeah, there was Bully. There was Agent Rockstar? Or
I
was
think
Sony?
that one was canceled. I think
Yeah.
Agent was a Rockstar made Sony game. I could be wrong. That was so long ago.
And then Horror of the Orient, which I don't think was Rockstar.
That wasn't Rockstar.
That was Bondi.
Bondi.
Post Rockstar, after they'd done LA Noire.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know Max Payne is now dormant. They got
Max
what,
Payne's a Rockstar game?
It was
They bought the IP,
it
yeah.
was published. So
Originally owned by Remedy. Rockstar
Yeah,
bought
that's
it
what- yeah,
from
that's
them.
what I thought.
Rockstar always
Remedy.
published it though, didn't they? So
They published it on
Remedy made 1 and
consoles.
2. Rockstar made 3. Is kind of
Yeah.
how it goes.
There's something weird where like they published it on consoles and then they bought it from Remedy. I forget how that really worked. Then they made 3 and that's about where it ended.
I'm trying to take that drunk tank crown.
Yeah, just sad. I would like another Max Payne.
Yeah,
Well,
me
those-
too.
I mean, those
Fuck
games-
Me, Max
what-
Payne 3 was good.
Yeah, when they were doing, or they're the only ones doing that bullet time stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, just people were upset because they're like, it's not in New York anymore and he's bald.
They had flashback missions.
Well, he's only bald for like the last third of the game or
Yeah,
something.
when he goes
Yeah.
hardcore.
Just so you guys know, Max Payne 1 has a Kung Fu mod.
Oh, I'm very familiar.
No, we
John.
know.
Yeah,
It's great.
Speaking of the Matrix, fucking,
Yeah, yeah.
let me look this up. Yeah, because every time you hit bullet time, it starts playing propeller heads.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's why I love Humans, which is great because the Matrix came out and we're all like, fuck, I want to play that. And there was never, like, no Matrix game came out for another like 10 years or something. So we're like, fuck it, we'll put it in Max Payne.
Yeah, it was just Enter the Matrix and then Path of Neo. Do 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 do.
Oh.
Yeah, cool shit. Look at him
So
twirling with that stupid pipe.
That's right after you get the stick.
What? You don't get a stick in Max Payne?
Yeah, you do.
Max
talking
Payne?
about?
I mean, in the Kung Fu
In the
mod,
Kung
yeah.
Fu mod.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
so
yeah,
good.
you did.
Oh man, the one-handed twirl.
Yeah. When it's in 3D, it looks great. But yeah, have you seen the GIF of Keanu Reeves when they're doing the shot where he's up his back against the pillar?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that one where he falls over.
He immediately falls over. I was like, oh my god, that's so much set destruction. And he goes slip, and I was like, that's why it cuts right there.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
It's in there somewhere probably.
There's the new one too of like all the cameras around him doing the actual like bullet time.
Oh, yeah.
thing. That was pretty weird too because he's just like on strings, leaning back, going like this.
It's
With all the fans blowing.
Did you guys catch any of the CES stuff, like Intel's press conference or anything?
No.
They talked about like voxels. They did this whole bit. It's actually really fascinating. You should watch it because it reminded me of the Matrix when they did the whole camera shoot, because that was all like DSLRs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it all took photos and then they stitched it together and it did that effect. They're basically doing that now, except with 5K cameras on football fields.
Oh.
And they're on every corner. Yeah, you could probably find footage of this. But essentially,
for
what it's
something
doing
else.
is, you know how you create a 3D map of something, how you take multiple photos and then it stitches it together? They're doing that, but in real time, where they're just recording terabytes of data. It's insanity. But then at any point during the game, you can go to like the quarterback's perspective because of how every angle is being covered in such a high resolution. And I'm like, we're getting to that point where they're going to have like, and then the camera's going to go,
I feel like I've seen them do that before. Like after a play, they'll be like, "Let's go see what happened down there."
They might be using
And
it
it'll-
now. During the press conference, they showed like a cowboy shootout scene where they're like, we shot this scene once. We just set up 10 cameras, and then they showed it, and it looks like a cheap like kind of video game, like when it all comes together. But you're like, oh my god, they did it all in editing.
Wow.
Like all the camera movements are done in
That's nuts.
in post. I'm like, that's kind of where it's going.
It's funny to me that like football and porn are what like drive most video technology.
I mean,
That's what the people want.
they want their fantasies.
Speaking of,
Good segue.
there was a I don't know if you guys saw the Nicolas Cage gif where they put it on top of Lois Lane in Superman.
Oh, you're talking about what is it called? Real fakes, deep fakes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I've seen the porn.
It's like that
Oh, you've
machine-
seen the porn.
I've seen the porn of
Have you
everything,
seen the
John.
porn?
Come on.
I haven't looked it up yet. Well,
course.
it's so basically the people who were making this fake porn, taking celebrities' faces and mapping them onto porn stars, took a break to make that Nick Cage little
Oh.
gif.
Of course it's porn. Well, the funny thing is fakes have been a thing for a while, and they've been nightmarish.
Yeah.
It's just been like a floaty face on top of somebody who's getting just fucked like crazy.
But now it actually
Now
maps.
the tech is there. We can do it. Elijah Dushku, wherever you like her. Now, this is something that I had deep thoughted a while about on Dude Stoop about what happens when you can create like photorealistic porn of a real person who didn't give you authority to do that. Mm-hmm. You can't do anything because they're just going to do it.
Honestly,
Then
it's
you
like-
get in front
yeah.
of you get in trouble for that game dude.
This is cool as man.
I can never recall anything off the top of my head. But,
That's
like,
cool.
What are you talking about? Game Doom? What are you
no,
talking
no, no. The dude who makes the Remedy dude got in trouble for that one game with the girl from the movies in it because they made her naked in the shower when they didn't need to be.
Oh, that's not Remedy.
Yeah, your information's all over the place.
That is
That was David
Ellen
Cage.
Page.
Yeah, Ellen
And
Cage
had
and Ellen Page.
Yeah,
That's from Team Bondi, right? No.
No.
Shit.
Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream.
There
Yes.
you
You're all psycho.
Even worse one. Sorry. We got there eventually.
You know, Remedy put porn in the game and how to hand her.
But yeah, that would be weird, man. You like you do a project and then some dude just deep gifts or whatever the fuck real fakes.
How different is that from someone writing fan fiction about Lawrence and I
Well, I mean,
rubbing one out on
Well
each other's
said.
chests?
Good.
but I mean,
That's
pictures.
true.
Pictures is very different than.
What, the
Is it?
imagination? I think not.
It's stages. It's stages.
I learned about the whole thing from Tom Scott, that super intelligent British man, and he talked about how basically the future scams will be putting your face on what looks like a webcam, and then be like, "Look, here's a video of you cheating on your wife."
Yeah.
And then, basically blackmailing you by creating evidence.
That also gives you all the plausible deniability in the world. You go, baby,
yeah.
I wasn't knee deep in goat puss.
Oh, people have said that shit.
I was just someone trying to blackmail me.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of Maury,
that's
man.
a computer.
They'll have photos of some dude like balls deep in a girl, and he's like, Photoshop. And then the girl will be like, I love you. Yeah, no, it's great. It turns out Maury Povich predicted all of the problems we encounter in 21st century America.
I mean, Shaggy, too. It
Yeah.
wasn't me. That song always pissed me off. He goes, it's like, she caught me in the shower. I was
me.
on the floor. Her mom was there. And he's like, wasn't you, man? He's like,
was me.
you're kind of a piece of shit, Shaggy.
Well, let's say theoretically, and give me some landing strip here because I got an ad read coming up.
Man, I love getting
Oh.
sweet.
Yeah. Well, okay. I was gonna say, let's imagine that you've been blackmailed and you have to make it up to your your girlfriend.
No, that's better.
Or significant other. There's no better way to do that. Can't deep fake this than with Sherry's Berries. That's right, chocolate covered berries, which sponsor this podcast and also get you out of all sorts of hot water with your significant other.
It wasn't me.
Or prevent it. The best defense is a good offense, they say. So if you haven't been deep faked yet, you want to get these berries. So you got a good landing pad to land on when those gifts start hitting. Oh, I gotta click on that.
Yeah, keep it going.
So let me tell you a story of woe. A story of woe about a past Valentine's Day of mine. Yes, I was in 5th grade. Little Paramore Lawrence Sontag had a sweet girlfriend. But I got her some shitty like battery operated PDA for Valentine's Day.
Nice.
It was pink, I think. I'm not sure what it was meant to do. I didn't have a good idea of what to buy my girlfriend at the time. So she dumped me like 3 days later. I gotta celebrate her diplomacy and waiting until after Valentine's Day. That was very smart of you. Maybe you could have done it before and saved me the $50 purchase of some shitty battery PDA. But what you gonna do? It was monochrome. I think it had solitaire on it. But berries are a much wiser investment because somebody might actually eat them as opposed to throwing them in the trash. Like my heart. We have a special offer for you guys. If you have a sweetie in your life or somebody you'd like to become your sweetie, getting berries for them is always a good idea. And the good news is you can buy them whenever and schedule the delivery. So if you get them now, you want some of them?
Can we eat them?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
They managed to survive
What a
the
cruel
whole week.
monster. He's
Yeah,
like, check these out,
packing
and
them
back
up.
they go. Like, okay, father of the year.
So yeah, if you're wondering what to get your significant other, somebody sweet in your life, or if you just want to say something nice to a friend or a close one or somebody you hope to get closer to, no better way to do that than chocolate covered berries, because what's more universal than a chocolate covered berry? There's a particular phrase I wanted to relate to you verbatim. I don't often read verbatim ad copy, but I wanted to this time. So, fresh, juicy strawberries dipped in milk, dark and white, chocolatey goodness, then topped with rich chocolate chips, chopped nuts, and this is my favorite, signature swizzles. So get your signature swizzle today at 20% off any gift over $29 by going to berries.com. That's BERRIES.com and enter our code DUDESOUP at checkout. That's dude space soup at checkout for 20% off any order over $29 at berries.com. Thank you, Sherry's Berries. And you can go to
Sherry.
hell, 5th grade girlfriend.
Yeah, I just realized I was coughing a little bit because I was salivating as you were showing them. I was like, and then as soon as I got it, I had so much spit in my mouth.
Gets hard to eat.
Oh man,
I'm surprised we made it a whole week and the berries haven't disappeared.
wow.
There's a
Good
berry
on you
thief in
guys.
this
Good
office.
self-control.
Yeah. Well
Yeah.
done, everybody.
Not in my defense, I did not know they existed.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Well, there they are.
That's the trick.
Delicious. Thank you.
But yes, much like the Wild West, there's another headline making the rounds today about getting swindled, robbed, or bamboozled.
No.
Much like my heart was stolen, 5th grade. She took a piece of me and I'll never get it back. But someone else has taken a piece of something far more important. Ms. Brown, what's her first name? Tiffany Brown. Yeah, it makes for a great headline. The story itself actually ends up being a lot more complicated, but this relates to FEMA and how America's been having a hard time supporting its own fucking territories in times of duress, whether that's Katrina, under George
Or
W. Bush,
Karina.
or Karina, whatever, or Puerto Rico, more recently. So there's a story here about this is on the New York Times. A FEMA contract called for 30 million meals for Puerto Ricans. 50,000 were delivered, which is a pretty big disparity. FEMA awarded a contract to the single employee company called, what is it here? Sorry, I'm scaling through the story. I'll bring it up for the sake of the audience and also to give me some visual cover while I stammer over this. It's Tiffany Brown, an Atlanta entrepreneur with no experience in large-scale disaster relief and at least 5 canceled government contracts in her past. FEMA awarded her $156 million for the job. Ms. Brown is the sole owner and employee of her company, Tribute Contracting LLC, set out to find some help. So the idea was that they gave her the contract to award or to coordinate, and then she would reach out to other departments to arrange for food items. Only 50,000 meals were delivered by the time her deadline said 18.5 million should have been. They shipped with heating elements separate where they were supposed to be shipped together.
Nice.
And yeah, she just basically biffed the job. Or said
I mean, she has a history of like 5 other contracts. You said that. She failed?
There's a whole litany of
tiffed
projects.
the job,
Nice.
right?
I'd high five you, but I
tiff.
won't.
She was supposed to, there's like, her history is kind of odd. She was supposed to print up all these tote bags for the Marines, but logos were only on one side of the bag instead of both, so they canceled that one. There's like a whole series of jobs she's done where it's just like, this is not remotely what we asked for. What is your problem?
Is she hot?
She might be hot.
She's married
I'll
to some,
forgive her
some
if she's
senator
hot.
somewhere.
I mean, hot people get married, Omar. It's fine.
Yeah, it does. It feels like she has a connection. She had actually been. There was a group that barred her from getting any other contracts, but that applied only to their agency and not other federal agencies. So she kept getting work from other stuff. My favorite part is her social media profile, which oh god. So here's another quote from the article. She claims a fashion line and has several self-published books and describes herself on Twitter as, quote, a diva, mogul, author, idealist with scars to prove it.
Which way would you swipe on that one, John? Left or right?
Down.
What does down do?
I don't know.
That's super like.
Really?
No, that's up.
Oh, okay,
so
sorry.
super dislike.
Super dislike.
So down, just text them your like GPS coordinates and a
Say
number.
right now.
Yeah, just get in
You
this
have-
hole.
you have 5
Dick
minutes.
pic, you have auto saved. Just auto send.
Just a little side note. Although
side-
these didn't get delivered, there was that chef guy who made like fed a million people a day down in Puerto Rico, just because he knows how to make restaurants.
Was that a cook?
And then back in D.C., he was at a party, and Ivanka Trump felt uncomfortable and had the owner of the restaurant ask him to leave.
Nice.
But yeah,
But he can cook.
he can cook.
He can make a mean sandwich. So there's many more details to that story, but like I tend to do, I'm just gleaning the most headline. Sorry, we're watching this Max Payne video, and he just did a sweet like splits kick that looks totally rad and not dumb at all. Jesus. So I was curious if any of you guys have instances in which you were utterly taken and swindled and bamboozled. John, you share with me on Slack that you
Yes.
got to the Founders Edition of. Hold on, I got to look up a trailer for this. What was
Yeah.
it? Wild West Online?
Wild West Online.
Oh,
It
that's
was
like that broken ass game, right?
yeah,
or
but
it-
it was the game that was originally they're very smart in that they released their first screenshot of their game without any information, and everyone just assumed that it was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
But yeah, in the fall, there was a lot of hype around them because they were doing like a 3 weekend in a row alpha. And so I was like, hell yeah, I love the Wild West. And I think I'd recently rewatched Bone Tomahawk. So
Keep going.
I bought the like highest priced one, which I think was like the Founders version or Pioneer version for like $50.
I like to think that you're a tier of customer where like there's a group of 20 something white dudes
Yeah.
who just watch Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah.
Let's get that market.
I also bought a cowboy hat off of Amazon.
Could you wear it while you're playing?
Yeah, to wear while I was playing.
Did the cowboy hat arrive?
It did. It smelled like spray paint.
Well, it's not a total loss, I guess.
But so, like, a few days after I bought it, they announced that they'd already gotten so much information from their first 2 alpha weekends that they were canceling the 3rd alpha weekend to
There's
then
your hat!
work on like the public alpha.
Uh-huh.
And coincidentally, that was when they changed their policy on returns. So I couldn't get a return anymore. And basically, I didn't think there was anything shiesty going on. I was like, okay, I'll wait for the public alpha. And then when it came, I played for probably like 4 to 6 hours and was like, there's nothing here. And it's just not at a place that I want to like keep playing it. And I was also trying to like save more money. So I was like, okay, this is kind of an extravagant expense. I'm going to get a refund and maybe buy it down the road when it's more complete. And so I was like, hey, I'd like a refund. And they're like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. You had an investment, sir.
Yeah.
We're going to protect you from your own decision making here.
And
money in the game.
I was like, that's weird on the website, like, because I never invested in like some random ass early access game before. So I read like the return policy, and it said that like as long as you ask for a return before the game is fully released, we will grant it to you, no questions asked. And everyone I read, like, I looked up refunds, and they're like, yeah, it was processed in a day.
Uh-oh.
I was like, okay, cool.
That means they had a money pinch, and they needed retail money to actually refund you money.
Maybe they just want to teach you a lesson.
Well,
Or all of that was
basically,
made up.
after like a back and forth for a couple weeks, I was just like, okay, I guess I'll look into this company since I didn't do that before I bought it. And then looking into it, it turns out that they are the same people behind like Shattered Skies and War Z, which was that big one.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So there's this guy who was like, I guess the founder or developer named Sergey Titov, who was connected to all of these games. And then his name became so notorious with these scam games that basically they announce early access, they get hype based on some other more established game that's similar to it. Almost like Asylum Pictures, I guess, like with Transmorphers. And then they never finished. They never finished the game.
Those are all words I didn't even recognize.
Oh, you don't know Transmorphers?
You don't know about Transmorphers? It's during the days of Blockbuster. They'd make movies that sounded like popular movies that were out in theaters, and then put them on shelves. So for a random person who wasn't invested in the series, they'd go, "Oh, I think this is that thing that my son's into."
He would be
that
be
stuff is still on
kid or
Netflix or whatever, right?
Yeah. But that the more current day version of it is Transmorphers, but like Carnosaur was like one where like Jurassic Park was big, and you look at like you can just imagine some guy being like, the kid's like, "Get Jurassic Park, Dad." He's like, "You got it," and then he's like, "The fuck was that movie that my dumb kid wants?" And then he was
Bruce
like,
Boxleitner?
Probably he'll. Most
I
likely.
recognize that. Dude.
Yeah, that's Tron.
That's Tron, baby.
Oh, really?
That's Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Himself.
So that same kind of idea is what this company.
Transmorpher, you're right.
Hold on, here it comes.
I can't click away when the Transmorphers are about to show up. I'm sorry, John.
This basically
looks like Max Payne 1 with a Kung Fu mod installed. Huh. Standing up. He's going to do a sweet, like, back dive, slow-mo gun shoot. Hopefully shoot some lasers.
I'm waiting for it to happen.
Whoa. Sorry, John. Where are
it's just long story short is they changed their company name and they made Sergey or whatever like a silent partner. So then when there were claims of it, they were like, no, Simon isn't, or Sergey isn't attached to this at all. But then people looked into it and the trademark was registered by the same person. And they use the same engine as well, which is no one else uses the engine. Like it's like their own engine that they made. So I think it's called Nightshade is the engine.
Because Nightshade is a poison.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Also,
I got scammed and they won't give me my money back. And like the thing is that if they had just refunded me, I never would have looked into it. And like I don't have much clout, but like I've tweeted about it a couple times, and like I think I've had like 5 or 6 people tell me, like, "Oh, I was thinking about getting this game, but now I won't." And now I'm talking about it on a podcast. So like, don't buy Wild West online.
Can you still buy that game? Like,
yeah, you can still buy it. It's still in alpha.
That's smart.
It will be in alpha for the next 6 years, so you'll be able to buy it.
And then people will just forget about it. Hopefully.
So I don't know if you noticed that
He transmorphed over a giant lens flare.
So stupid ILM animates like every gear in the car.
Oh yeah, that's
cover it with a giant spark. Who
Yeah,
cares?
Transmorpher's like, dude, just do the light.
You just lens flare it up, man.
Bro, you spent how long on
You
that?
must not have found that thing in the menu because I did.
Just lights. It's so easy.
He looks
I like
so
that
cool,
the
too.
light. You know that it's coming from the robot because it didn't reflect off of any of the environment or anything else.
There's not even a shadow.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, he's
man, look
transmorphing
at that car.
Oh boy.
Transmorphers is the greatest movie.
It doesn't look that much different from Gods of Egypt.
It kind of looks like GTA.
Max
A little
Payne.
bit.
It looks like super early, like Freddie W. in Corridor Digital when they first started doing like 3D stuff before it
8 years
looked like
ago?
But
super good.
this is what. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a free download from Video Copilot.
Yeah.
Helicopter flying by. Got it.
I don't know if I've been scammed yet because I still believe I've only given to one Kickstarter in the past, and that was Tim Schafer's new game. That was the I still haven't played it.
Broken Age?
Yeah, because I was just like, hell yeah, point and click, I'll support that. Still haven't played it. I should. I heard it's good.
Well, that was another
When it
one
came
that
out.
the people felt scammed on that because like the first half
to ask
came
for
out
more money.
and they were like, okay, we ran out of money.
Yeah.
Got to do it again for
Oh,
a second
yeah.
half.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, but the entire thing has come out since. But
Oh, okay.
and if you backed one, you got both. Kind of.
But I have since given money to I think it was a Indiegogo, but it's that Sevenhugs remote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
That thing looks really cool. Indiegogo, I feel like, is a scam site all by itself.
yeah, they sell you on dreams. So
Ah.
yeah, I paid less than that. It was like $200 or something like that. But they had this at CES 2 fucking years ago, and they were like, it was I want to say CNET or someone's like, this remote's awesome. You point it at whatever you want and it works. And they're like, it's pretty much done. Look at this thing. It's awesome. I was like,
It's just like
shit. I'm
one
like,
dude who's pretty drunk, like in one booth at CES. And this is the opinion you have to go on. Oh,
shit, that was awesome. So I bought that. I put money down 2 years ago, roughly, and I've tweeted them multiple times. I'm like, hello? Because I think last I checked, they're like, coming out August 2017. I'm like, so you're just keeping the money?
Yep.
That's what, like, should I get refunded, or are you going to send me a remote that doesn't work? What's going to happen?
Well, it's like Kickstart. I've had a couple Kickstarters where the people disappear with the money, or like they have a bunch of things where they're like, oh, we're at this point in the scale, this blah blah blah, and then they just stop updating the thing because they run away with it.
Well,
all of that stuff is you're not. There's no expectation for me that the thing is actually going to happen until it happens. You know?
Yeah.
Because you're funding someone trying something.
Yeah.
What I always thought it was we built one of these, and it works, but we got to put them out there, so we're gonna take pre-orders. And you go, oh, okay, cool. But now it's been a lot of like just full-on scams. Like if you go to the shitty Kickstarters subreddit, there's one, I forget the exact description of the device, but it's like, it will connect all video games to each other, regardless of platform or system. It sounds like a video game console from a movie that Hulk Hogan's in or something. Yeah, it's like at the top. What's it? Oh, it's one of them.
That's how iDubbbz got started doing Kickstarter crap.
Really?
Yeah.
Turns out making fun of broken shit is a pretty fertile ground.
Yeah.
But
we did that.
Shitty Kickstarters is like one of my favorite subreddits because it's just so many angry people.
Yeah, but I mean, again, these people have the wrong expectation of Kickstarter.
Yeah,
it's not a pre-order system.
Most of the people posting it to the subreddit are people who have backed it and are now mad that it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, it's not a pre-order system.
You're buying into an idea that doesn't exist.
You're funding someone's creative process.
Let me see if I can find it.
Dimension X.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, look at that thing.
Suspended.
Dimension X is a console that will enable all major game platform users such as Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch,
What's he looking at?
PC to play each other on one network. For example, if a user is playing John Madden 2018 on the Xbox platform, and you have another user that's playing John Madden 2018, the same game, on platforms such as PS4 or Nintendo Switch, Dimension X will convert and merge the two networks to enable the two competitors to play each other.
You have to trust the man with an original Incredible Hulk poster.
All the user has
Well,
to do
I'm
is
sold. Is there no follow-up video? There's no like diagram.
I think
nope, it's just him talking.
I think he's just reading a description on 4chan of like some dude just trolling him.
He wanted $200,000 and he got
$200,000 for this this incredible thing.
This shitty 3D render that
look at that fucking phone. Is that the controller?
That's a sweet slide phone. That's a sidekick, baby.
I love that it was suspended though.
Yeah, I don't know how or why. It's got all those ports on the front. Are those lights? What is this?
Actually, Dimension X. Imagine you are playing two different games.
It's Dimension X. That's not an.
Oh, did you spell Dimension wrong? Oops.
I mean, that may be an N.
Yeah,
whatever
no,
font
that's
you picked,
an N for sure.
It's just stretched out.
It's longer.
There was no M, and he had to make his own.
That's rough.
Just gotta risks and
He
challenges.
probably did a vector and.
Well, he just grabbed the Orion logo.
Yeah.
And stretched out a couple other letters from
His
it.
first reward is you get a Dimension X, and his second reward is to be announced. This will be edited.
How much does the first reward cost?
$25. Wait, hold on. A special black edition of console Dimension X, green and black. Name it the Kickstarter edition.
For $25.
Tell me more about
you're
your
gonna
black
get this
addiction.
console.
It'll be engraved. It will read, "Thank you. This is possible because of you," which is intercapped for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will see your name there, after, highlighted, and engraved on the console. So when you pledge, email or message me and simply say, quote, "I pledge." Then leave your full name or nickname if you prefer. I can be sure to put it on the special edition console.
Okay, movie idea. This is the version of this guy. So it's a guy who's a scam artist, and he comes up with a scam to like basically cure cancer.
From Mesquite.
But then everyone believes in it, and he gets like $20 billion, and he's like, shit. So then he actually tries to cure cancer.
I guess I got to do it now.
But he's like talking to like Chinese scientists, and he's like, these are all the things I said. And they're like, I've been working on something. And I think you just solved it.
Well,
He ends up
according to the
accidentally
internet,
making
cancer's
super
already
cancer.
been cured, but Big Pharma buried it
Because
it's
they
not
like sell
profitable.
the drugs, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that they would just charge money for the cure. No, that makes no sense.
It's like the guy who made the car that ran on water. And then they're like, and then the oil company killed him.
Or just like all the weird
Like-
rumors about Tesla.
What do you mean?
Yeah, he figured everything out. Everything. But then
Well,
he
I mean-
died and his notes made no sense. Like, well, how do you know he... Whatever.
Not
Tesla.
Not
Nikolai
current-
Tesla. No,
not
no.
Not Tesla. I'm sending a car to Mars.
No, the
Tesla.
star of the Prestige, Nikolai Tesla.
The Heavy Falcon worked, right? Everything
Yeah,
went
It
great?
got
well,
off the ground.
I didn't watch long enough to see if the main rocket... Or I know the two side rockets landed properly, but then the camera cut off, so I didn't actually catch up if the
Conspiracy.
full one landed or not.
Yeah.
They could just deep fake those rockets, right? This could all be fake. We wouldn't know.
Probably. I don't
They
know.
could pay like 200 actors to say, like, yeah, I was there. Jeff Bezos!
Yeah, they flew up into a floating studio and they closed the blue sky painted door.
Somebody making an orbital platform to house a fake rocket, just to fake an actual rocket. Like, well, we got to get the rocket up there. We need to invent a new kind of like propulsion system. This is getting really complicated.
That was always my my stupid iPad skit idea. I had ever tell you this one?
Mm-mm.
Or it was every year. I was always like, man, Apple always does it where they're like, the battery now lasts 9 hours. Battery's now 11 hours. Battery's now 35 hours. And I was like, what if they ever got to a point where they didn't know? Like, and so like there was one where
It's never shut off yet?
yeah. Well, there
timer's
was,
still
so there's
going.
one where they're
Oh.
like we invented the new iPad. It's a 4K display. It's 2 inches thinner. And it's got a battery life of 90 years. And I was like, and then the one guy's like, wait, what? And then he's like, what? What's your question? Is it about the thin display? He's like, no. The 90 years part, like, how do you know? Oh, well, let me show you. We built a time machine. They show the guy, it's like failure after failure resulted. But we have gone, and the guy who's got the iPad, he's like, it's at like 1%. And then everyone's like clapping. The guy's like, what? Like, what do you like?
It's not your battery. What do you want?
So he went to the view. She's like, right. No, believe me, you're gonna love this edge display. It's like you blow your mind. But you invented fucking time travel. It's like, and then fucking iPad ever made. Like, what's the point? And there's one guy's like, how do I die? Just people ripping their, and it's just like the Steve Jobs.
You're
dude
going to
up
die
top.
of joy over this new iPad.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. What I do know though is that this starts at 3 pricing structures with LTE. Without LTE, people just rip it. Just places on fire. Anyway, that's a skit I want to do.
So the center core did land correctly. Boy, how convenient the camera's malfunctioned, huh? Oh, it's the vibrations from the rocket, is it, Elon?
Yeah.
I wanted to see your rocket blow up like it did last time. Wait, that was NASA.
They've blown up a lot.
Yeah. Hey, you
They all
gotta crack
blow
a
up.
few eggs. Speaking of
Whatever.
eggs, you should learn to cook. Blue Apron is sponsoring this podcast.
Well done.
And it's time for another Cooking with Lawrence, because Blue Apron sponsors this podcast so much, the familiar reading points are a little tired out. Don't worry if this is your first podcast, or your first Dude Soup, maybe not your first podcast ever, but first Dude Soup, I'll recap what the service is, but I've been using it for a long time, which means I'm becoming a master chef. It's true. Mm-hmm. And as someone who has struggled with weight, one of maybe not a complaint, but a concern I've had about Blue Apron is the recipes are balanced for a third of a 2,000 calorie diet, which means they can come 600-700 calories. And as someone who's trying to diet, get that hot LA bod, trying to slim up for summer, that can be a little much. I'm looking for meals in like the 400 to 500 calorie range now. But, and this is a secret, all right? I don't want you guys telling anyone,
Yeah.
even though you're listening to it right now.
I'm listening.
I will not.
Top chefs are going to hate me for this. You can divide it up more than it says to.
You're a madman.
So if you get a 700-800 calorie a serving meal, you can divide it into thirds or even quarters, and then it's less calories. And you get more servings out of it. So the math they usually do is it's $10 a meal because it's two per meal preparation kit, which equals 6 meals per week for about $60. But if you divide it up even further, you can cut some calories, look fine, and that reduces your cost to about $6.75 a meal, which means you'll be rich. You'll be rich. You'll be hot. You want for nothing with Blue Apron. That's my top tip to you this week on Cooking with Lawrence.
Good.
So to recap, Blue Apron is a meals by delivery service. Basically, they ship you all of the ingredients and given recipes pre-portioned out. They're in nice little bags or sealed containers. They also send you these recipe cards that have step-by-step instructions with pictures to show you how to make everything. All you need is like salt, pepper, and oil, basically, and cookware. and then a plate to eat it on and a house to eat it in. But you can reduce it as much as you like. It's great, actually. It saves money, gets you better at cooking at home. It can be a bonding experience if you cook with friends or family, and you get better at cooking, which is actually a pretty good skill to have. You will not repeat my mistake of buying a crappy battery-powered PDA for your girlfriend, cook a nice meal for her, and she'll be yours forever. At least that's what worked for me.
It all circles back.
It all does. So, and you know what? All Blue...
You blew me?
all Dude Soup listeners get a special code from Blue Apron. You can get $30 off your first order by going to blueapron.com/soup. That's blueapron.com/soup, S-O-U-P, for $30 off your first order. So thank you, Blue Apron, for revolutionizing my life, saving me money, and getting me hot. Blue Apron bod. You could have it too and save money. blueapron.com/soup. So thank you.
I just got my order while you were doing that. Ad read. I just got the notification they dropped it off at my front door.
Mine was there this
waiting
morning
for me. Why am I here?
I've actually
Did you command your Roomba to go grab it and bring it inside?
I just need a robot that all he does is answer the door.
a robot butler with like claws that fly out and grab it, or like a crane machine that just comes down.
It's gonna be one of those Boston Dynamics robots though. It just breaks the door, catches on fire.
It just grabs the mailman by the leg and drags him inside.
Holds him upside down and shakes him until the packages come out, and then throws him like a Max Payne mod.
Oh man!
Would you guys ever do that Amazon thing where they have a key to your house?
No, not at all.
What?
Never.
Do you not know about it?
I do not know about this.
Well, no, it's a smart lock or something, right?
Oh
No, I think you give them a fucking key to your apartment.
No,
and they
it's a
come-
smart lock. And the reason I wouldn't do it is not because of the smart lock, but because they make you put a camera facing your door so that when they arrive, you get a notification, you see the Amazon deliverer there.
You're going to jack
and
off
you
on your
press
door.
Unlock door.
Yeah.
And they get granted, or I think you say allow him to enter, and they get one access. They can unlock it once, go in, but they can't unlock it twice.
Why would that be
It's
the
so-
reason you wouldn't do it?
It's such a complicated
Because
thing.
they're basically gathering data on millions of people of when they're coming and going from their house. And
Well, what do you think an Alexa does?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't own an Alexa.
Oh, well, yeah, but any kind of home computer, voice activated anything. I mean, there's so much.
phone.
Yeah. I mean, your phone, obviously. There's so much data around when you do things and the manner in which you do them. But I mean, it's like you can be paranoid about that, or you can just say this is the society we live in now. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my phone always alerts me when it's like, "Hey, traffic's pretty heavy right now. I know you're going home."
Yeah.
Because you told me.
Because you told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, "Thank you for making my life simpler." I suppose.
You could argue it's mutually beneficial.
I'm not afraid of the future. I'm just gonna wait till a few laws have been passed about these things before I
laws to
accept
protect
them.
you.
Speaking of, there's some
I don't
crypto
know.
meetings going on in the Senate right now.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Curious about that.
Well, it's
where are the meetings?
crashing. Everything's crashing.
Well, and
Yeah.
most of it was like financial institutions were starting individually to say you can't fucking buy crypto on credit, which would be a terrible idea right now, just FYI. But yeah, apparently it's hitting government level of like, maybe we should look into this. There's a lot of money tied up
Well,
in
there was the whole Athene thing that happened too. You follow that
Athene?
one? Athene, man, yeah, he's. I watched Charlie's video on it. The
Yeah?
Critical. He did a fun little thing on it. His channel's fun now.
Is he getting
He's
intellectual
sort of like
world events?
you know how Sugar Pine does vlogs in their vlog way. He does YouTube drama in his way.
Ooh. Oh, that
So-
Athene. Okay.
Yeah. Not Athene. No, I was saying Charlie. Critical.
Yeah.
He's been covering YouTube drama, sort of, and like internet drama and stuff. But he does it in his, his dry voice.
Yeah.
Does his thing, and it's like I love his monotone stuff. But he did the whole video on Athene. I was enjoying it, but it was about just like. It's insane that Bruce knows more about this stuff, and I wish he was here. God, bless his soul, rest his soul, in down under. But yeah, wherever you are,
I guess,
Spending
yeah.
vacation.
wherever
I guess he's down there.
my beautiful boy. But people are starting like crypto things called. It's basically just called like scam coin, and they're like, guys, this is a scam.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot if you give us money. So give us money, and they're like, people are like, okay.
Well, people buy. Well, this has been the de facto reality for crypto for a while, which is that everybody knows it's a speculative market, but you're speculating on nothing. You're speculating on other people's tolerance for speculation. So you're not revealing anything by saying this coin is worthless because it was always worthless. You're just buying into something and hoping that you cash out before everybody else does.
Is that what Garlic Coin is?
They're all that.
You know about garlic coin?
It's Russian roulette.
I don't buy crypto.
It's like Reddit coin.
Oh, I was gonna say, is this garlic
Genius.
based crypto? The garlic chain, which they grow on a vine.
We're all just trying to make garlic bread, right, guys?
I guess.
Kinda. You want my top tip for garlic bread? Okay, here it is.
Yes, I do.
Such an overwhelming reaction. Okay, so toast your bread, and then you just get a garlic clove. Just peel it. Just rub it in. Just rub that shit in.
Yeah.
It works. Who knew?
That's what they do at the restaurant.
Yeah, and then
you mince it or
No,
Just get a whole clove and just grind it in.
You just grind it in.
It works. It rubs in. And you want some pan de tomate or whatever.
It doesn't hurt you so much either.
Cut a tomato in half. You grind that in too. Get some flake salt on top. That's an easy treat, my friend.
The like Ralph's or Vaughn's or any of those stores sell like $1.50 giant long loaf that's already been cut and buttered and garlicked. And what you can do with that is you pop it open and you put like cheese and peppers on it and you put it in the oven for like 10 minutes and you will get fat.
Oh, so I don't think we ever gave you the full story, Lawrence, of when we went to that Brazilian place in Australia.
Oh, So I walked into something that I knew was going to be a shitstorm very quickly.
It wasn't a shitstorm.
So I pieced out as quickly as I could and went to McDonald's.
Well, that was fun. So our last day in Australia, I talked to Bruce and I was like, "Hey, let's do like a. We've been hanging out with everyone there, like all the Rooster people, Achievement Hunter, Sugar Pine. I think it was mostly everyone who was there. And
everyone who matters.
Well, I mean, everyone who's invited.
Whoa.
Ouch.
I mean, awkward. Is there something you'd like to say, Omar? I don't know. Jeez, that got awkward. Anyway,
we don't decide who goes. I'm gonna throw it out there.
I was just like, hey, we haven't really hung out as like Funhaus. Maybe it's our 3rd anniversary or whatever. Like, let's grab dinner together. So we go to a Brazilian place. There's, this place they come out and they give you the food or whatever.
You turn the
Fogo
thing
de
upside
chao.
down.
Yeah.
It's on skewers.
And Lawrence was like, I think his message was, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to be getting into mischief.
Well, that was
Really?
before the plans had been set. So I was just sitting in my room, like air punching to Robert Palmer because the con had just concluded, and that's how I
See what
typically
you
celebrate.
missed, Omar?
In my underwear, no less. So I took a shower, and I was just kind of waiting around, and I was like, I'll just go walk around. So that's where I was at. And,
Okay.
And then
that's
like
mischief.
10 minutes later or so, the message hit, but I was walking around and data sucks, so I had to.
So we got there. Bruce, James, Elise, Autumn, they're all there already eating. Jess and we got there last, but like they just started. So okay, cool. And then they're feeding us. And then halfway through, they go, oh, by the way, credit card machine's down. We're like, we're in a foreign country. We have no money. We're not going to go to an ATM, take out money. Like,
Yeah.
the way
also
it
for
worked.
a party that big,
Yeah,
you'd have to
and-
pull out a lot of foreign currency.
The way it has been working with events with Rooster Teeth is they give you these cash cards. They're like, well, refill it when you go. That's your money for the trip. That's it. And we're like, oh, we'll just use these. It's great. And then they're like, no credit card. We're like, sign says you take credit card. The machine's down. I'm like, okay. And then that's about the time Lauren shows up and he's like, all right, I'm out. Because he saw that happen and then leaves.
They said, like, yeah. I showed up and they're like, I was like, is it too late to eat? And they're like, no, by the way, it's cash only. I was like,
Yeah, later.
peace. And I just like schmoozed out of there.
So they kept
Did you
bringing...
moonwalk out?
a bit. I had to squeeze
Basically.
between like a weird, like, there was a wall that had columns in it. And for some reason, there was this glass divider that was right next to the column. And it made a very awkward, like, squeezing point in which I had to compress my rib cage to get through. Which meant I was just hung up there, like, scooting through, scraping off my own skin while people were staring at me as I was trying to vacate what I knew would be an uncomfortable situation.
So we asked them, can you just like try it again until it works? Because we don't have Australian dollars, dollar reduce, as they
What
say.
they call them, yeah.
So they're like, okay,
Kingly
cool. And
does.
it says the Brazilian place, they just kept bringing us more food. And we're like, what's their play here? Like, they just keep bringing food. And then eventually the woman goes, no, she goes, the machine's still down. We're like, okay, well, we can't pay with cash. She goes, you said you would. We're like, excuse me? And they point at Jess and they go, she said she would pay with, when you first came in, she said, yes, I'll pay with cash. And we're like, the fuck are you doing? Like, this was like a gypsy scam. Like,
Like throw the baby at you,
yeah.
except it's a steak.
and then both Jess and I are like, we came late. We weren't here when we first came. And she's like, oh, come on. Like,
Yeah.
you said you would do it. I'm like, am I just going to create money? Like,
Why are you calling me out, bro?
I don't know.
You just lied!
So then eventually Bruce got him, like, walked to the back with him. And
Ah,
like,
there it
Bruce
is.
is dead. Like,
Bruce-
this isn't going to end well. James, like, they're beating him with the ATM machine. And then Bruce came back and they gave him the bill. And he's like, she was very nice. She explained it to me. Apparently they're using an all new system that, like, it just goes down. And when it goes down, they can't use any credit card machine. And then James like, that's kind of more on them. That's
Yeah.
not on us. And so Bruce like, I'll give you my email. Like, bill me. We'll figure it out. And then there were a couple Rooster Teeth fans actually sitting next to us. And they were like, I'll pay your bill. I'm like, no. This is now a matter of pride. And also the company's supposed to pay for it because it's a work trip. So like, we're not falling for this. So then eventually, I think they just unplugged it, plugged it back in. Like, there it goes. I'm like, wow, who'd have thought? But just the fact that like, I've never been. It felt like a Subway grifter being like, no, man, you said that. Like,
I know you did.
You took the shoe I gave you. You got to pay me for it now. Like, no, what the fuck are you talking? Like, it was anyway. That was a magic trip.
There's a particular interaction that you have with somebody who's done their job for like more than 3 months, and it's always what I refer to as I don't have a folder for that. Which is when you ask somebody to do something they've never done before, and instead of actually thinking about it and trying to do it, they just say it can't be done. And that's one of those. Did you try rebooting it? No, it's down. You don't understand. You need cash.
Wipe the blood from their ears.
Yeah.
Sorry. What did you just say? I blacked out.
Yeah.
You can see the gears grinding a bit.
That's just, I don't know. Anyway, that was a fun. It wasn't as dramatic as a story, but it was fun seeing a lot of bats on the way there. Australia has lots of bats.
Oh, I saw a wombat.
Did you guys go play with the little animal that's always smiling?
Koala?
No. Coca.
Quokka. Chupacabra.
I don't know.
So let me show
Like
this to the
one of the
stream first.
largest mammal rodents.
So hold on, I got to do both cameras here. I saw this little guy. So shortly after I left the Churrascaria, or however you say that word, I cut through a public park in the middle of Sydney.
It is terrifying.
Yeah,
looking.
well, it's cute, but also frightening. So I was bumbling along, and then I saw
What the fuck?
I saw this little thing with grabby hands, and like out loud said, "Jesus Christ, what are you?" And then we kind of stared at each other for a second, and I was like, I was fishing for my phone. It's like, "Fuck, you're cute, but also weird." No, he had tiny little like fucking raccoon hands, but like a weird body shape. I don't know.
Well, there was the park kind of by the hotel, and we'd walk by, and you'd hear just
Scratching.
and you're like, birds? And then you look up and you see a silhouette of a bat, and you're like, holy fuck, she fucked. But I was like, there's something cool about this, but frightening that there's just bats flying around when there should be birds.
Is there anything more futuristic than living in like a towering concrete techno landscape, but also having wildlife just running around like crazy? Maybe no wildlife at all.
I haven't
That's
finished
probably-
Altered Carbon yet, so I don't know.
Did you saw the first episode?
Okay.
I watched the first episode and I couldn't stop rolling my eyes.
I couldn't get through most of it.
There was a
don't like
point
it?
at which I've had you to solve a murder, and I was like, he's gonna say mine.
Yeah, well, I saw
Mine,
I saw
of
them-
course!
I saw them in the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see a trailer.
Okay.
So much about that. By the way, I love the fact that it's an Asian man stuck in a white man's body.
I know. I said the exact
It's the
same
most
thing.
nerdy fucking jerk off thing you can ever do.
I was like, you took an ethnic
shouldn't it be the other way around?
character and made him a generic white dude.
Well, I mean, what's his name? Joel Kinnaman or whatever?
The guy from the main character.
Yeah, he's like...
He's
Poor man's-
impossibly cut.
Well, yeah.
God,
but
it's
I'm
frustrating.
Sure, but he's like poor man's John Krasinski or... he's poor man's something. Like...
He's RoboCop.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was RoboCop.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was RoboCop.
I think I'm gonna watch that whole thing just because it's mathematically made. There's nothing about it that isn't a trope, which is weird to say.
He's like a discount Skarsgård. There, I said it.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
Which Skarsgård?
The older brother.
The older one, the really good one.
Oh, okay.
He's in something coming up soon too. I forget. It looked
It.
pretty cool.
But let's say
No,
that
that's the younger Skarsgård.
let's say that you're a robotic shell of a human that is in a sack covered in goo. You got to look your best when they cut you out of that sack, which means you're going to have to be wearing the most techno-futuristic underwear that the world has to offer. And to do that, you'll have to buy it from Mack Weldon, purveyors of fine clothes for your genitals. Yes, wrap your genitals in the finest techno cloth you can find. Mack
That's a
Weldon.
good future ad.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's how we roll here. We only wear futuristic underwears. No modern underwears. Cotton, get out of here. They make antimicrobial cloth, which means that no matter how much you stink, the underwear will not. It actually kills all the terrible things living in your crotch as soon as you strap it on. Makes you cleaner too. That's not a promise from them, it's a promise from me. So take it up with me if you ever have any issues with that. But you won't be able to find me because I'll be in a new robot body. I'm going to say, just personally, having now they've been sponsoring this podcast for over a year, I think, and I've been a routine patron of theirs. It's actually interesting to me to go back and buy new boxer briefs or whatever, and they actually update their line. So the boxer briefs they had a year ago are not the ones they have now, and they get better and better. I think it's 3 different versions I've gotten from them now, and each one has been more comfortable than the last. So I'm really enjoying what they have now. They got like a kind of a heather thing going on.
Explain.
In terms of the colors, it's heathered. Actually, let me look it up here.
Like with Winona Ryder.
That's Heather's.
Oh, they're making a TV show out of that, aren't they? So look at
Mac
this business.
Weldon?
No,
Ooh.
Heather's. The show Heather's, whatever.
I was just kidding.
So I went with the plum heather.
Ooh.
It's a delightful texture. It accentuates the package beautifully.
I feel like I can see your sack in those. So
Yeah, it's delightful, right? It's perfectly proportioned, like interesting, but not too big, but not too small either. So that's the promise. I'll tell you, your testicles will look beautifully proportioned in a pair of Mac Weldons. And you can get 20% off your order by going to macweldon.com and using our promo code DUDE at checkout. That's a DUDE at checkout for 20% off your entire macweldon.com order. And if you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, gosh, those balls just don't look right, macweldon.com, promo code DUDE. Thank you, Mac Weldon, for your promo code and your delightful ball cupping technology.
Fix your balls.
I gotta get me some of those because from like Friday night to Monday morning, I do not shower. So
Okay.
Amen, brother.
yeah.
What? Don't encourage this behavior.
Speaking of balls. Hey, it's the nerd lifestyle.
Take a shower.
Whatever, man. We're talking about jet setting to Australia. We need a common man. Someone who's in touch with the people.
Yeah.
Someone who
Opposite
doesn't
end
shower
of the
for 3.5
spectrum.
days.
I mean, that's a choice he makes.
A lot of people make it with him.
Yeah.
I guess. And I know what you're talking about, though. You get those, like, they say no man is an island, but if you ever had a weekend off with, a double XP weekend going on or something, yeah, I get it. You don't leave. Sometimes you're just like, well, the sun's setting and I'm still in my pajamas.
I'm playing a lot of Celeste.
I don't know what
back into Zelda,
air
too.
smells like.
And Zelda's some fucking black magic. I thought I played that game and I loaded it up, and since they added that Hero's Path for the first DLC, I just went to someplace on the map I've never been. It's all magic again.
Yeah.
I found these like fucking temples. There was a mystery there.
Oh, yeah.
I solved it. I felt great. I was a hero.
I'm afraid of
How are you liking Celeste?
It's great. Celeste is really, really good.
I think I blew through it in like 2 nights just because I played it
You get
for
all them
like 6 hours
strawberries?
straight. Not all the strawberries.
Play all them
no.
retro cartridges.
The strawberries are inconsequential, right?
No, they don't do anything. It's just bragging rights, basically.
Yeah, but
But
those
they're fun to
cassettes,
get.
It
man.
looked like a weird mix between like Super Meat Boy and like Flappy Bird and all these things are like, and then there's like insane Mario levels. I was just
Yeah.
like, I don't need this
It
level
is
of
very
stress.
Mario Maker.
I'm going to keep playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z,
Yeah.
which has a story mode apparently.
Also very
Are
stressful.
you guys not doing Monster Hunter?
I
Haven't had a
got
chance.
back. I'm gonna get back into it. I didn't want to do like a lot of Monster Hunter and then leave for a week because I'd forget how to play.
Okay.
So I'm back into it. We got a hard net though, which
Oh,
Monster
yeah.
Hunter is pretty hard netting. But so I'm trying to remember who's up to date on the Pueblo marriage sim.
I was there for that.
Yeah, Omar, you know about it, right?
I do now, yeah.
John does not. So
Refresh me.
John, let me
Did
read
see all
you
the,
a save the
the
date
shit
here.
we caught for not knowing about the
Oh yeah, the whole
like extra drama
whatever,
around that
man.
record.
What are we
was
gonna
the
do?
extra
Narrate the
drama?
whole fucking thing?
Well, they're
He's
like
got a whole legacy of
yeah,
fucking
and
with
it's
shit.
like Twin Galaxies is in on it too,
Yeah.
maybe.
There's a whole
Oh,
conspiracy
that
that we
guy.
didn't
Yeah.
recap.
Todd Rogers.
Turns out it's a goof
Yeah.
segment at the end of a podcast. So yeah, we're not going to run down the whole history of something.
Man.
Not that I was aware of it either. So I'm admitting to that. But
I recently joined the speedrun subreddit, so I've been following that thing live since
Man,
it
they-
broke.
that is the one sin you do not commit on the speedrunning subreddit.
I always thought that dude was a little shady after King of Kong. I was like,
Wait,
something
he was in
Rogers
King
was-
of Con?
Oh no, the Billy Mitchell as
Billy
well
Mitchell
has been
got
outed,
invalidated, because he was
What?
running
Yeah.
on emulator. He was running on MAME, not a cabinet.
and he
Flap,
was and he was like loading. Basically, whenever he'd fuck up, he'd go back to where that point was.
Yeah, save states and stuff.
Yeah, and then start from there again. So it was him playing the whole time, but they weren't like clean, uninterrupted runs.
Whoa.
Yeah, no. There's a whole load of fuckery. But
That's amazing.
that is netting pretty hard. But we got a hard left back here. So on Saturday, September 23rd, 2017, at 7 p.m. Pacific, Sergeant Hale, or Anon, because I believe this is from 8chan, which is not 4chan, decided to marry Shinobu, who is from... She's a multi-centennial vampire from... I'm blanking on the anime, and I apologize about that. It's been said a couple of times. I'm blanking on it. Regardless, she may look 8. I promise she's not. Several hundred years old. Very
So
mature.
they're both fictional characters.
Well, I mean, an Anon is as fictional as your mind applies them to. Same with anime, actually. So yes. The save the date reads at the bottom. You've seen weaponized autism. Now you get to see the trigger pulled.
That's rough, man.
Sergeant Hale, as his name is, decided to marry his beloved.
All right. Oh, in VR chat,
Yeah,
of all places.
well-
Wow, look at that attendance.
So it's funny you bring up attendance, John. Sergeant Hale
a child.
wrote his own script to 800 years old. Wrote his own script to pull avatars from an 8chan thread into the ceremony.
Oh,
So
wow.
while people are posting in a thread, he's pulling their avatars into the ceremony. They're able to watch. He marries his beautiful, again, very of age bride, who receives head pats and has very big eyes. Takes her out. There's a nice reception here out in the parking lot. He throws the bouquet, however you choose to pronounce it.
He
Turns
threw
out
it the wrong way.
that particular anime girl is the lucky lady. It's not Igus from Persona. That's the only other one I recognize. So it's she's hugging. She only comes up to about waist height, but turns out that's good enough. A little head pat there.
Oh, so he programmed in reactions.
Or did he?
You know that thing you do to your 12-year-old son when he catches the ball for the first time? Yeah, or to your anime wife, whatever.
Balls.
Her 12-year-old anime wife.
No, that was you 108.
600.
Like several hundred years old, I believe.
Sure, yeah.
So all adds up. There's nothing suspicious or suspect about that at all. Let me hit you with its competitor, which is a similarly pure YouTube channel.
Remember the little girl in Interview with the Vampire who's stuck as a vampire, but she's like hundreds of years old, but she's
yeah.
stuck as a little
Yeah.
girl?
That's Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. Would you be okay with hitting that?
I mean, maybe I wouldn't, but maybe I wouldn't pass judgment on those who would.
What about
was
Brad?
that part of the movie, actually? Or in the book?
This is in the movie. She's like,
She got bit when she was young.
No, but like, because she was a kid, it always grows back.
oh, her hymen keeps coming back.
Yeah.
She's
Perpetually
that's
hymen.
fucked.
It was something fucked up.
Oh,
like
that was in the book?
That was something like that in the
That's
book.
something Anne Rice would say. And then she's like, and then also Tom Cruise's character becomes a rock star.
Yeah.
Maybe just stop writing those.
Let's crossover with Rock Hard. Or wait, what was that?
Rock of Ages.
There it is.
Yeah. No, they made what was it? The Queen of the Damned or whatever.
With
With
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, yeah. That character is supposed to be Tom Cruise's character, the dude who's in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Queen of the Damned is a rock star?
It's about vampires.
All right, so the competitor to Sergeant Hill, the Pueblo marriage sim, is this gentleman, Kiss Cactus, on YouTube, who, if you look at the runtime of most of his videos, are about 10 seconds or under.
Nice.
And he's got a pretty... He's got something he does in every video. And I wonder how long it will take you to identify what that thing is. Oh,
Kiss a
it's
cactus?
muted, sorry. No, that's a bit of a red herring there. Let's see here.
It's an abandoned, dilapidated homestead. Not too shabby.
Is it not too
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, you're familiar?
Oh, shit.
All right.
Okay.
It's a baby wearing red Colorado attire. Not too shabby.
All right.
All right.
Family dollar
Keep 'em coming.
store. Not too shabby.
All right.
Shabby.
Yeah, he's got a good read.
It's Arby's food through the drive-through. Not too shabby.
It sucks he lives in like New Mexico or whatever, but
Not a whole lot to
I guess he's making the best of it.
working it.
It's a walking stick cactus.
What?
Not too shabby.
Can you play the very first video?
It's a scary
I was thinking
looking
the same thing.
alleyway.
It's not scary.
I mean,
Not too shabby.
All right.
okay.
Yeah, let me.
It's pure.
It is pure.
I'll give it that.
It's
It's less creepy than the other one.
don't have to get into any weird debates about multi.
9 years ago?
Yeah. I learned about this guy a long time ago. Or I saw it and then.
Oh, his hair is darker.
360
God, he's
feet.
younger. I don't know if he's gonna say the thing.
There's a really nice view
Oh, wait.
out here.
Wouldn't you
In
say that
fact,
view
the
is?
headwaters to the Potomac River, or somewhere out there.
I want to get higher.
What are you gonna do, Bernie?
I want to get higher.
Oh, they're having some wacky times.
Isn't high enough for me. 3361. 3362.
Okay.
Highpoints.us.
What's the first video?
That was the first. That was the 9 years
What's
ago.
the first one that says not too shabby?
When
on
did he
it?
start getting shabby?
Ooh, shabby.
It's his evolution into shabbiness.
Sort of search by
By shabby?
publish. I don't know if you, so he's got a not too shabby playlist that has 940 videos in it.
Dear God.
Hey, look at those dogs.
So let me
maybe that's the first one.
That was a very recent video.
remix.
It was at the top of the.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You don't got time for this.
I mean, it's 100 at a time. It's not.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I still have my favorites playlist back from when YouTube first started, and you could say favorite this.
Private.
They turned it into a playlist, and that playlist has like 3,000 videos in it. It takes like 10 minutes to get to the beginning of it.
So I don't want to vote for this guy yet because I know inevitably he's going to make a video on his deathbed, and he's like, "I had a good life. Everything's great. Love
Okay.
my kids."
His delivery's gotten better.
And he's like,
When was that?
"Not too shabby."
November.
And then,
another
and then you
Adam
hear, "Skee." And then I'm like, "That's hard netting, baby. That's how you do it."
Oh, that's
very
when
hard.
his son goes, not too
Yeah,
shabby.
you're like, "New class."
Or his ghost comes out of his body and goes, not too shabby.
So November 9th, 2013.
Damn.
And then first
impressive.
comment is nobody's gonna believe me, but I finished the playlist. So it looks like giant intergalactic tapeworm
Yeah, I think that guy was at the wedding.
plugged through 938 videos. But they're only 10 seconds long. You know, whatever. You didn't win the
Mount
Olympics.
Princeton.
Did I?
Not too shabby.
So he was a crazy person when he started doing the not too shabby part. Like his hair is all.
Yeah, he's already.
Long hair doesn't mean you're crazy.
Look at him.
Look at John. He was bald, what,
Yeah.
a month ago?
I'm not crazy.
You can all agree with this, though.
Pancakes and bacon for breakfast.
Those are pancakes?
Not too shabby.
He's not the best.
That looks
cook.
like yucca bread.
Yeah, I thought it was egg.
I mean,
I thought it was eggs too.
That's fine.
All right. I guess we got to put it down to a vote now.
Oh, man.
Man marries fictional 800-year-old
Nope.
vampire. Let me sweeten the pot a little bit. Every time she gets a taste of blood, she transforms into a post-adolescent lady.
How,
Like 14?
Yeah, how post?
Let me check this out.
Post puberty or post adolescence?
Let's just vote. Let's just vote.
Like Shinobu is so common. Oh, there she is. Oh yeah, Bake. Here we go. Bake Monogatari. Shinobu is a girl who lives with Meme in an abandoned building. She loves donuts from Mr. Donut. She was named Shinobu by Meme at the beginning of Hitagi Crap. This can't be real.
Why couldn't you have fed her some blood before the ceremony? Like,
He probably did.
I think he preferred the other version. So hold on, let me get in this. Why is there such a long quotation? God damn it, my enemy list.
that's a good loophole for pedos, though.
I think
She's stuck in this body, but she's of age.
Yeah.
welcome to anime, bro. That shit happens all the time. Okay, all right, that's not so. Well, it's still not okay.
I remember that happened in Highlander as well.
What do you mean?
Yes, you're right.
The little boy was a Highlander.
There she is.
He was skateboarding at the skate park and then tried to kill Ponytail Man.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, that's Highlander the show.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Fuck. There. A woman flowered. Behold. Not so bad.
I guess.
Not creepy at all.
Yeah, he still chooses
She looks
the
really pale.
child version. Still, like I said, if you had the choice with Kristen Dunst and you're like, she's like, here's a photo of me from 1808, and you're like,
She's cradling a sword in
but
between
you're
her.
a 10-year-old.
Very
And she's
lactating
like,
breasts.
No, I'm not. I'm 250 years old. Be with me. And you're
Stop
like,
this.
Would you say yes or no?
No!
I would say no.
Okay, it took you guys
is
a
this
long time to
conversation
answer
being
this.
recorded?
And live stream, yes.
We got help. Hold on.
Police officers are standing by.
Fox or Split Scream on Twitter is helping out here. Here's all the various phases of this very adult woman, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, there's a picture of her being held in a basket on a bicycle. That's not
As a
puerile
baby.
at all. Yes. Okay. Well, you still have to vote. Adam, marrying the very adult of mind. Age is a number.
Yeah.
Between this and the
Age
not
is
too shabby
only a
gentleman,
number.
Yeah.
what would you vote
Epic
for?
shabby guy.
Great. Omar, where are you falling?
Yeah, I'm definitely a shabby guy.
John?
Can you define hard netting for me?
I can, actually. And it actually varies by the participant, basically just to include whoever I like. But for me, hard netting is somebody that has something that is obscure and they have something that would one time they'd have to experience by themselves. They'd live in solitude with this thing forever. But through the advent of the
Not
internet...
too shabby.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, Sergeant Hale, I'm sorry.
That guy wrote a script to include people from a forum. He has friends.
I guess you're right. Not Too Shabby is living by himself, except for the gentleman that he climbed the...
Well, that was
Mountain
moments
path with.
before he killed that guy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well,
That is the
because
perfect
he
place to do it.
He was like, you know, it'd be a great idea.
What's
if
his-
you did
what's
not
the
too
most
shabby after
popular
videos
one?
and threw him
Oh,
off
yeah.
the fucking cliff.
That's a good idea. Let me figure this out here. Here
His
we
idea
go.
will be mine. Like Highlander.
There can be only one. What?
I'm getting it mixed up
God
with
damn it, Troy.
the episode of Aqua Teen where they think jumping off of a mountain will make you a Highlander.
It was a documentary, and the events played out in real time. All right, let's see what the number one upload for Mr. Not Too Shabby is.
It's the Los Animas County Courthouse. Not too shabby.
All right, yeah.
I love that guy.
Hitting the courthouse with 152,000 views.
Has he done that on a green screen yet?
I don't think so.
That-
As far as I can tell, all of his videos are in situ.
If he did-
Institute?
It's no, sorry. It's I was being
smart.
I was being too cultured for a second. It's a Latin thing meaning in its original place or in location.
No, that's fine. I thought you said Institute, but I was like, is that a new app?
That could be too. He's in an institution.
If it wasn't for his crazy hair, it'd be pretty easy to key
These
that
are
guy.
festive Colorado socks.
I have similar socks to those.
Not too shabby.
No, he overdid that one.
Well, I
Well, he
like
knows now.
He's putting some salt on it. All right. Kiss Cactus has blown out the competitor. Just a guy in Colorado. Says that description. Oh, ColoradoGuy.com. He's got the best URL ever.
He
Look
also
at that
had, like,
website.
usheights.net or something.
Welcome to donate a
It was-
few bucks.
On his first video, it showed a URL that I'm definitely going to check out when I get back to my desk.
This dude is living life.
I just want to see one where it's like kids in the hospital.
Is that his-
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Times are bad.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. High score on Ms. Pac-Man. Uh-oh. Steve. Is this your name? Steve?
No, don't break the illusion.
Steve Colorado guy Garufi shattered the high score at Ms. Pac-Man Machine last night when he obtained the all-time personal high score of 150,080 points.
Is that his friend who helped him with the sign?
I hope so.
Hope they're
Oh,
still
actually,
friends.
it does look like him.
Nice.
Man, it's great. It's great to it's great when you find two bros who are just on a quest together.
What's the copyright? 2002.
That's a while ago. That's a while ago. You gotta update that.
That record's been beaten.
Yeah.
All right, well, Steve, congratulations on winning the crown. And congratulations to all of you for making it through another episode of Dude Soup. Thank you for your attention, for your attendance, and for your thoughts this week. I presume that they made it through.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. That's what we operate on here. We're a thoughts and prayers kind of podcast. My only request would be that if you did enjoy this podcast, maybe recommend it to a friend or leave us a rating on whatever service you used, download it or watch it. But you don't have to. Merely just being here is enough, and I appreciate that. And we'll be back next week with another podcast. If you are watching live, stay tuned because we got the post show coming up. Got a lot of wonderful fan art. Got some inclusions from people that gave us cool stuff at RTX Sydney, so I'd like to show that as well. But either way, no matter how you're watching us or listening to us or whatever, thank you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my tall boy Bud Light.
Did you finish that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Actually,
dude.
wait, hold on.
You finished both of those. I didn't even see you drinking it.
There we go.
Man, oh man.
It's almost like I'm a functional alcoholic. It's there was this
That's
cool
not functional.
there was this cool scene in Skins. The UK Skins, where this girl who's anorexic was like demonstrating how to confuse people into making you think you're eating, but you're not. You're taking the time, I can tell.
No,
We're already
I was
over.
I was making sure we're recording audio.
Oh yeah, boy, that would be bad.
I fucked that up earlier.
Anyway, it was a cool scene, and you can treat this entire podcast as a 90-minute demonstration of how to drink a tall boy and a bottle of beer without apparently Omar noticing.
Without anybody noticing.
Yeah, got it under the radar. So thank you again for watching, and we'll be back next week. Bye, everybody.
Bio.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. I like he's throwing more salt on it as it goes by. I like that. He's not getting.
Well, it seemed like his most recent ones, he'd also toned it down a little bit. So it's like he started subtle, then he go real crazy, and then he's kind of evened out into like manageable.
How aware do you think he is of his popularity or whatever?
I don't never aware enough. Hopefully this will
Popular?
put some jet fuel behind him.
His videos don't have views. I think just one of his videos was posted to like YouTube Haiku one time or something.
That's how you found the genius?
Yeah.
Of course he did. What are you, crazy?
Those are $500 toys, and people are buying them up like nothing.
Fire
out
out
of
because
them,
they say
though.
the boring company. How hard is this? Come on, guys. You should know that. This is fucking Elon Musk. Not well. Also, he's a genius.
He's a genius, but like,
But yeah, I mean, but look, that's absolutely something that lots of people would want. I mean,
But $500?
That's